Peanuts was a comic strip that became a hit, that became a cultural institution, that became an industry. Its characters have graced everything from lunch boxes to lunar landing modules, from beach towels to blimps. Perhaps no one more so than Snoopy, the beloved beagle with the overactive fantasy life.
Hey, Snoopy, why don't you come into the house? And I'll feed you in here. It's a lot warmer. Why does he have to make such a big deal out of everything?
Snoopy would be a hard dog to have. Charlie Brown has said many times, why can't I have a normal dog like everybody else?
On a day like this, a person really needs his faithful dog to come running out to greet him.
I'm sure he must puzzle sometimes. What is he doing out there in the doghouse? Why does he hang around with those funny little birds all the time? And how do they know what they're saying? And he likes to think that he's independent. He does a lot of things to show this independence.
Snoopy isn't home yet. I wonder where that dog is.
Hear the sun, get the show, with the grand and glorious Booty.
But like he said one time, never get too far from the supper dish.
Supper time, yes, it's supper time. Oh, it's supper time, very best time of day.
He has to admit deep down, I suppose, that he really is totally dependent upon this round-headed kid who feeds him.
No, not tonight. Oh, all right. But it's so ridiculous. Other dogs go to bed without having a piggyback ride.
Snoopy, whose inspiration was Schultz's much-loved childhood pet Spike, started out like other dogs.
It was almost 10 years before Snoopy began to think the thoughts that he now does and to get up on his hind legs, and I think that changed the whole strip.
It did more than change Peanuts. It changed all comics.
After Snoopy started walking upright, you see just a huge progression of comic strips where there's some kind of an animal and it's walking upright and talking and thinking and acting like a person. And that all came from Snoopy.
Roy, there's something about that kid out there. You almost get the idea that he thinks he's a soldier on leave in Paris.
That was only one in the long line of Snoopy's alter egos. There was the ever hip but never slick Joe Cool. The tennis pro with the fast serve and the slow volley. The referee who plays by his own set of rules.
I think people love Snoopy's confidence. He can imagine being a character and then he can be the character, and he's always the character brilliantly, he does it in his own way.
Never more brilliantly, of course, than when he's the daring World War I flying ace, hot on the trail of the legendary Red Baron.
I've always pictured Snoopy with the old aviation World War I hat on him and the goggles and a silver scarf, and I think we sort of fashioned ourselves that way in those days.
We have ignition sequence start.
Astronaut Gene Cernan and the crew of Apollo 10 did more than take inspiration from Snoopy.
Launch commit, liftoff. We have liftoff, 49 minutes.
For their moon mission, they named their spacecrafts after Charlie Brown and his dog.
Oh, Houston, this is Snoopy.
Charlie Brown and Snoopy are special to me. They took me to the moon, and they gave me one heck of a ride along the way.
That little Snoopy was a real winner.
Long before he conquered outer space, Snoopy already had won the hearts of millions on Earth, and he keeps on winning them. Without saying a word, Snoopy speaks a language everyone understands.
The great thing about Snoopy is that Snoopy's a dog who acts the way we think our dogs are thinking.
I wish you wouldn't do that. It's very embarrassing.
Snoopy can do anything. Undoubtedly, that's the best thing that I ever thought of. Popeye will always be with us. Mickey Mouse will always be with us. And I kind of hope that Snoopy will too.
Snoopy, you'll have to be all the animals in our play. Can you be a sheep? How about a cow? How about a penguin? Yes, he's even a good penguin. No. Listen, all of you. You've got to take direction. You've got to have discipline. You've got to have respect for your director. I ought to slug you. Ugh! I've been kissed by a dog. I have dog germs. Get hot water. Get some disinfectant. Get some iodine.
When I heard Sparky was retiring, I sat down and cried. Peanuts has always been my security blanket. As far as being a cartoonist, it was always nice seeing it there every day, knowing it was, it'd been there for 50 years, and I'd hoped it'd be there for another 50.
Why do you fly upside down? It's amazing that the way